The helicopter blades sliced through the Arctic silence, a mechanical roar in a world otherwise untouched by human noise. As we descended, the vastness of the landscape below became overwhelming, an endless sea of white stretching to every horizon, broken only by the occasional jagged ridge or frozen river. The anticipation in my chest was matched only by the biting cold that seeped through the helicopter's thin windows. Dropping me into a world of endless white, the chopper's skids touched down with a muffled crunch. The door opened, and a blast of frigid air hit me like a wall, instantly numbing my cheeks and nose. I stepped out, boots sinking into powdery snow, and took my first breath of the purest, coldest air I'd ever tasted. The chopper faded away, its sound swallowed by the vastness, leaving me utterly alone in the frozen expanse. The silence was absolute, broken only by the crunch of my own footsteps and the distant howl of the wind. The air was so cold it burned my lungs. This was Arctic Canada, one of Earth's harshest environments. Every breath crystallized instantly, hanging in the air like a ghostly mist. My eyelashes began to freeze together, and I could feel the sting of frost on any exposed skin. My mission was simple in theory but daunting in practice. Survive 48 hours with only my skills and what I carried. No backup, no easy escape, just me and the unforgiving elements. Every item in my pack had been chosen with care, each one a potential lifesaver. The Arctic doesn't forgive mistakes. Here, a single error can mean the difference between life and death. The wind can strip away your warmth in seconds, and the snow can hide dangers beneath its pristine surface. It demands respect and resilience. Out here, you have to earn every step, every breath, and every moment of safety. The environment is both beautiful and brutal, a test of both body and mind. No paths, no signs of life, just raw, untamed nature. The snow was unbroken, a blank canvas that dared me to make my mark. There was no comfort in familiarity, only the challenge of the unknown. My heart pounded with adrenaline and fear, every instinct screamed caution, but I knew I had to keep moving, to stay focused and alert. The Arctic tests not just your endurance but your will to keep going when every part of you wants to stop. This was the ultimate test, a confrontation with nature at its most extreme. I was a tiny figure in a landscape that could swallow me whole. The first challenge? The sheer disorienting scale of the place. The horizon seemed to stretch forever, and the sameness of the snow made it easy to lose your bearings. It was easy to feel insignificant, even invisible. Judging distance is nearly impossible, the terrain can fool you in minutes. Every calorie counts and every step through the deep snow is a battle. The landscape plays tricks on your mind, making close objects seem far and distant ridges appear within reach. My pack was heavy, but it was my lifeline. Inside were the tools and supplies that could mean the difference between comfort and catastrophe. Each item had to earn its place, and I felt the weight of every decision I'd made while packing. Gear alone isn't enough. Your mind is your most important tool. Out here, mental strength is as vital as physical preparation. Planning, adapting, and staying calm are what keep you alive. I set my sights on a distant ridge, determined to move with purpose. Every step forward was a statement. I would not be beaten by this place. I would meet the Arctic on its own terms. The journey had begun, me against the Arctic. Each moment was a test, each decision a lesson in survival. 48 hours to prove that knowledge and willpower can triumph here. The clock was ticking, and every second mattered. Time to get to work. The Arctic was waiting, and I was ready to face whatever it had in store. In the Arctic, cold is your main enemy. It's not just uncomfortable, it's relentless, seeping into your bones and threatening to sap your strength with every passing minute. Out here, the wind howls across the endless white, and the temperature can plummet so low that even a moment of carelessness can have dire consequences. The cold drains your energy and will to live, making every task feel monumental. Your body burns calories at a furious rate just to keep warm, and exhaustion sets in faster than you'd ever expect. Even the simplest movements become a struggle as the chill seeps deeper. My first priority, staying warm, became a constant battle. Every decision, every action, revolved around preserving precious body heat. I learned quickly that preparation and vigilance were my best defenses. That starts with smart layering, beginning with a moisture-wicking base to keep sweat off my skin, followed by an insulating mid-layer to trap heat, and finally a windproof shell to block the biting gusts. Each layer plays a crucial role, and missing even one can mean the difference between comfort and hypothermia. Every inch of skin must be covered. Exposed flesh can freeze in minutes, so I made sure to wrap up tightly, no gaps, no shortcuts. The smallest patch of bare skin is a target for frostbite. A warm hat, gloves, neck gaiter, and insulated boots are vital. Heat escapes fastest from your head, hands, and feet, so I doubled up on socks and always checked my gear for any signs of dampness or wear. I checked my fingers and toes constantly for frostbite, watching for numbness or pale skin. Early detection is key. If you catch it too late, the damage can be permanent. Movement generates warmth, but sweat is dangerous, so I kept a steady, careful pace. Overexertion leads to sweating, and wet clothes can chill you to the core once you stop. It's a delicate balance between staying active and not overheating. Rest breaks were short, just enough to catch my breath before the cold crept in. Sitting too long meant losing precious heat, so I learned to keep moving, even if only a little. Fire is a game changer, but finding dry tinder is tough here. Most wood is frozen or damp, so I searched under dense trees and carried a stash of dry material whenever possible. I guarded my fire-starting kit like my life depended on it, because it did. Without fire, there's no warmth, no hot food, and no way to melt snow for water. It's the heart of survival in this frozen world. With fire, I could melt snow for water, cook food, and fight back against the Arctic night. The glow of the flames was more than just heat. It was hope. A reminder that I could endure another day. Every action was a conscious effort to keep the cold at bay. From adjusting my clothing to rationing my energy, I had to stay alert and proactive at all times. In this environment, warmth is survival. Every moment spent fighting the cold is a step closer to making it through the Arctic's unforgiving embrace. As the sun dipped low, shelter became my top priority. Wind steals heat fast, so I needed protection. Snow is the Arctic's best insulator. I found a deep drift on the leeward side of a hill and started digging a snow trench. The work was slow and exhausting, but I paced myself to avoid sweating. My trench, 6 feet long, 3 wide, 4 deep, with snowblock walls and a tarp roof covered in snow. A small vent at one end kept air circulating and prevented carbon monoxide buildup. Inside, the difference was immediate, still, quiet, and less cold. Pine boughs on the floor insulated me from the snow. This hand-dug space was my fortress against the Arctic night. It wasn't luxury, but it was home. Shelter is the key to surviving the long, frozen night. In the Arctic, water is urgent. Food is important, but you can last longer without it. Eating snow is dangerous, it saps your body heat. I melted snow over a fire in my metal cup, always boiling it for safety. Finding food is tough. I searched for animal tracks, Arctic hare, ptarmigan, and checked for edible plants or lichen. Emergency rations help, but you can't rely on them alone. Even a patch of edible lichen boiled for safety is a victory. Every calorie counts, and every sip of hot water is a morale boost. The process of finding and preparing food connects you to the land. You become part of the ecosystem, fighting for energy like every other creature here. Survival is about patience, observation, and making the most of what you find. In the Arctic, resourcefulness is everything. Getting lost in the Arctic can be fatal. Whiteouts erase all sense of direction. Before leaving the helicopter, I took a compass bearing and noted landmarks, mountain peaks, frozen rivers. Map and compass are your most reliable tools. GPS can fail in the cold. I check my bearing often using leapfrogging. Pick a landmark, walk to it, pick another. Natural cues help. The sun's path. Wind-shaped snowdrifts called sastrugi. If you're lost, stay put. Moving wastes energy and makes rescue harder. Make yourself visible. Build a signal fire or an SOS sign in the snow. Staying in one place maximizes your chances of being found. Navigation is about discipline and observation. In survival, the smartest move is often to wait for help. The Arctic rewards those who respect its rules. The Arctic is alive with resilient creatures. Survival here means constant awareness. I spotted an Arctic fox, perfectly camouflaged, a reminder I was a guest in its world. Polar bears are a real danger. I carried bear spray and a flare, but avoidance is best. Make noise, stay alert, and never store food in your shelter. Small wildlife, ptarmigans bursting from drifts, lemming tracks, are signs of life and hope. The Arctic's true magic is in its silence and light. Sunlight on snow is blindingly beautiful. At night, the aurora borealis is breathtaking. I was lucky to witness the northern lights, a reward for enduring the hardship. These moments remind you of nature's power and beauty. In the Arctic, every encounter is a lesson in respect and awe. Survival is a mental battle as much as a physical one. Out here, every decision is shaped not just by the cold but by the thoughts racing through your mind. The Arctic tests your resolve in ways you never expect, forcing you to confront your deepest fears and insecurities. The Arctic's silence and isolation can play tricks on your mind. Fear is natural, but you can't let it control you. The endless white, the biting wind, and the absence of familiar sounds can make you feel truly alone, amplifying every worry and doubt. I felt fear at night, alone in my shelter, but I channeled it into focus. Instead of letting anxiety spiral, I used it as fuel to double-check my preparations, to listen more closely to the world outside, and to remind myself why I was here. Hope is the antidote, found in small victories: a warm fire, a sip of hot water, a glimpse of wildlife. Each of these moments is a reminder that life persists, even in the harshest places. They become milestones, proof that you're still moving forward. Thinking hour by hour, not 48 at once, kept me going. Breaking the challenge into manageable pieces made the impossible feel possible. I learned to celebrate each hour survived, each task completed, no matter how small. Discipline is key. Force yourself to move, start your routine, and momentum builds. Even when motivation fades, habit and discipline carry you through. The simple act of putting on boots or lighting a fire becomes a statement. I will not give up. The mind is a muscle. Train it to be positive and resilient. I practiced gratitude for the smallest comforts and reminded myself that every challenge was shaping me into someone stronger and more adaptable. There are lows of exhaustion, but also highs of awe and peace. The fatigue can be overwhelming, but then the sky erupts in color, or silence settles in, and you feel a profound sense of wonder that makes every hardship worthwhile. Standing on a ridge, I felt connected to the planet, stripped to the essentials. In those moments, the worries of daily life faded away, replaced by a sense of belonging to something much greater and more enduring. These moments make the struggle worthwhile. They remind you that even in the most unforgiving places, joy and satisfaction can be found if you look for them. They prove the strength of the human spirit. Every step forward, every challenge overcome is a testament to our ability to adapt, endure, and thrive. In the Arctic, hope is your greatest survival tool. It's what keeps you moving, keeps you believing, and ultimately, it's what brings you home. Your survival kit is your lifeline. Every item must earn its place. The 5 C's cutting tool, combustion device, cover, container, cordage. My knife is essential for everything from fire prep to food. Multiple fire starting methods, ferro rod, matches, lighter, are non-negotiable. Prepared tinder guarantees a flame, even in damp conditions. Cover layered clothing, emergency tarp, and a space blanket for warmth. Metal container for boiling water, plastic won't cut it. Paracord is invaluable for shelter, repairs, and more. Add a basic first aid kit, map and compass, headlamp, and high-energy food bars. A smart light kit gives you a fighting chance. In the Arctic, preparation is survival. As the helicopter returned, I looked out at the Arctic, still harsh, but no longer an enemy. I'd faced its challenges and gained a deep respect for this wild place. Survival here isn't about conquering, but adapting and learning. The Arctic teaches resilience, resourcefulness, and gratitude for the basics. These lessons stay with you long after you leave. Adventure is everywhere. Seek it out, challenge yourself, and grow. The wild is the greatest teacher if you're willing to listen. If my story inspired you, join me for more adventures and tips online. The world is wild. Get out there and live it.